It was an ordinary Thursday afternoon when Claire first met him. She was sitting in the corner of a small cafe, scrolling through her phone, trying to get lost in the endless flow of social media posts. It had been one of those days, dull, uneventful, and the kind where you don't feel like you belong anywhere. But something changed the moment he walked in. His name was Liam. He was in his late 20s, with dark wavy hair and a look that suggested he carried the weight of the world on his shoulders. His eyes, bright, intense, and slightly worn out, met hers for a brief second as he entered the cafe. Claire quickly looked down, pretending she hadn't noticed. But he didn't just walk past like the others. Instead, he approached her table. "Is this seat taken?" he asked, his voice low but warm. Claire, taken aback, glanced at the empty chair across from her. "No, it's free," she said, gesturing for him to sit. He smiled and sat down. They didn't say much at first. It was one of those awkward silences that felt like it would stretch forever, until Claire, being the curious person she was, broke it. "Do you come here often?" she asked, trying to start a conversation. He laughed softly, a sound that somehow didn't match his serious expression. "No, not really. I'm just passing through." "You?" "Same," she replied, smiling. "I just needed a break from everything." They exchanged a few more words, small talk, like strangers do when they don't know where to start. But then, something strange happened. As they talked, Claire felt a sudden sense of connection, like they had been talking for hours, or even years. There was a quiet intensity about Liam that was both unsettling and comforting naturally now. Liam revealed that he was an artist, a painter, who had been struggling to find his creative spark. Claire found herself drawn to his stories, his passion for capturing moments in his art. She shared her own life too, her love for writing, her dream to one day publish a novel. As the hours passed, they both realized they had lost track of time. The cafe had emptied out, and the evening was creeping in. "Would you like to see my studio?" Liam asked, his voice suddenly hesitant. Claire felt a flutter in her chest. There was something about him that felt magnetic. It wasn't just attraction, it was something deeper. Idée love tout. When they arrived at his studio, Claire was taken aback. The room was filled with canvases, some unfinished, others boldly vibrant with color. But what caught her attention the most was a large portrait in the center of the room, a woman, her face turned slightly toward the side, her eyes filled with an emotion Claire couldn't quite name. It was hauntingly beautiful, yet it made her feel unsettled. Liam noticed her gaze. "That's my last piece," he said softly. "I painted her about a year ago. I was trying to capture the feeling of something lost." Claire's Pulse Weekend. There was something familiar about the painting, the way the woman's eyes seemed to follow her, the curve of her lips. "Who is she?" Claire asked before she could stop herself. Liam hesitated, his hand hovering over the painting as if to shield it. "She's someone I used to know." Claire nodded slowly, but the question lingered in her mind. She had never seen this woman before, but something about the portrait was making her feel like she was in a blur of text messages, phone calls, and impromptu meetings. Claire and Liam's connection deepened. She found herself thinking about him constantly, the way his smile lit up when he spoke about art, the way he listened so intently when she shared her thoughts. For the first time in a long while, Claire felt alive, like she was a part of something real. But there was still that haunting portrait. Every time she visited his studio, it felt like the woman in the painting was watching her. Liam never mentioned her again, but Claire couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more to the story. Then one evening, she couldn't hold it in any longer. "Liam, who is the woman in the painting?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. "Liam's face darkened." "I told you, Claire, it's someone from my past." She could see the pain in his eyes, but she pressed on. "But why does it feel like I know her?" Liam took a deep breath, his hands running through his hair. "Claire, the woman in that painting, it's you." She froze. "What?" D'était-ce impossible. "I've never been here before." Liam walked over to the canvas, his fingers brushing the edge of the frame. "I painted this months before I even met you. But when I finished it, something about it felt familiar. And then when I saw you at the cafe, I couldn't believe it. Your eyes, your smile, the way you moved, it was all the same." Claire was speechless. The world around her spun as she tried to process his words. But, how could you have painted me? We didn't even know each other. I don't know, Liam said, his voice barely above a whisper. But I think I've been seeing you in my dreams for years. And when you walked into that cafe, it felt like fate, like we had always known each other. She had felt a strange familiarity with him from the moment they met, but this was beyond anything she could understand. Was it possible that somehow, someway, their paths were destined to cross? Or had something greater, something beyond their comprehension, been guiding them all along? In the days that followed, Claire found herself falling deeper into Liam's world. And although the mystery of the portrait still lingered, there was one thing Claire knew for certain: whatever force had brought them together, it had created something neither of them could deny. A connexion. A love that felt both new and ancient, as if it had always been there, waiting to be discovered. And as for the portrait, it no longer haunted her. It had become a symbol, a reminder that love, in all its strange and mysterious ways, often comes when you least expect it. But when it does, it's as though it was always meant to be.